insanely fun and rather interesting in the way it goes about describing not only the idea of a high school love confession, but just general human interaction as well. From its 2 solid opening themes and insane amount of anime parodies that sometimes outperform their originals, to Brina Palencia's solid ADR direction and Christopher Sabat singing a perfect love ballad during the first OVA episode. For a show about essentially nothing, there is plenty of memorable material condensed into its 2 26-episode seasons and 2 OVA sets. With that nothingness comes this idea of the importance between the outcome and the journey that led us here. If you've never even seen the series before, you could still confirm the outcome pretty easily by just looking at the premise and the openings, as both contain the surefire signs that things will not go as they seem. Heck, the entire series could be solved in episode 24 of the first season if people were just upfront with each other about how they feel. However, I think this is where that importance comes into play. If you enter School Rumble with the mindset that a relationship is a high priority, just leave now, because I don't believe that's what School Rumble is trying to do. While there is an early emphasis that Harima's confession to Tenma is the main objective, we can tell by the first interaction with one another that a relationship is not going to happen. Every main character is thick in the head, sometimes to the point where it becomes downright annoying more than anything. But these failing confessions bump up this show twofold, not only because they utilize the character's skill sets in a different way, but also because they are able to give the series a different focus. A focus that makes School Rumble one of the most memorable and fun romantic comedies in my eyes. Putting my interest first on season 1, the show makes its statement very clear that we are not experiencing a normal school setting, as the gag comedy is more visually exaggerated, using multiple art styles and fluid animation techniques, rather than scripting out jokes. The great thing about the comedy mixed with its quote-unquote romantic elements is that nothing is hindered because of one or the other. Rather, the characters are able to flourish in this environment all the while still improving themselves. Harima is the definite standout from this, as he tries everything to get Tenma to be impressed by him, including changing his overall look, profession, and demeanor multiple times, giving his character more depth to what is essentially a trivial thing. He could have done what any normal person would have and just express himself in the standard fashion, but the way he goes about this process allows him to find himself in what he truly wants, rather than it being just a romantic ploy. In fact, all these characters contain more depth than what you would expect from a gag comedy, and considering that there isn't one character that is more important than the other, the series can stay fresh with the amount of content it can produce. But to contrast that, even though the series focuses on these fun little story events episodically, it doesn't mean that the inner ideas of love that our characters feel are not genuine. Honestly, the show has a pretty realistic take on how awkward high school relationships or confessions are, and during many points it made me hate my life because of how scarily accurate it can be. It makes you laugh due to the outside absurdity, but will still make you cringe when you think of how close some of these things hit home for everyone. Pretty much everyone in high school had those inner monologues or fantasies about someone they liked, but putting them into words is an entirely different matter, and School Rumble takes those inner thoughts and animates them to life. The gags and outcomes may be exaggerated, but the point remains ever present. Heck, it even nails the friendship aspects of things just as well. Just because you are friends doesn't mean you still can't be jealous or angry for someone else's successes. School Rumble does things with its narrative that it shouldn't be able to do, but it doesn't stop there, as the cast of the series has much more in store. Moving forward to a much more impressive Season 2 in the final OVA episodes, it becomes all the more apparent that School Rumble's overall theme and focus is not that of a romance between two people, but of a generation that doesn't want their fun memories to end. While the romances take a back seat in the first half, the gags and conversational pieces are that much better, as the days dwindle down towards the finale, but the characters are even more memorable than ever before. This is where I think School Rumble shines the most, as each character is given an important role in shaping the multiple classrooms and their different styles. While both Tenma and Harima are important for shaping the path the story takes, the supporting cast is the true beauty in what is classified as the quote-unquote sentimental generation. Eri and Makoto provide support for Tenma and her aspirations, all while having to deal with their own conflicting emotions, something that they both have trouble talking to others about. Imadori, Karen, Akira, Hanai, and Lara provide their own comedic subplots with just as memorable results as the main cast, and even Yakumo starts to showcase more emotion as she makes her own statements heard compared to before. Heck, Togo and Harry story scenes made for some of the best lines that counterbalance one another because of how natural they flowed within the conversation. Yes, all of these characters are insane in the actions they do, but there's a sense of relatability in the core of what they're providing. Harima didn't have to become a mangaka considering Tenma never said anything about it, but he did it to express himself in the only way he knew how. Yakumo didn't have to start helping Harima with his projects considering there was no benefit for her, but she did it because she wanted Harima to be happy. Eri did not have to help Harima with his financial trouble, but she wanted to because she didn't want to see Harima fail. These characters are not just one-trick ponies, rather they are multifaceted in bringing about the memories that everyone cherishes. There is one scene during the end of episode 14 of season 2 that sums up everything great about this cast, with that being the bomb hot potato game, but more specifically Harry's comment during said game, where he ruins the entire sense of fun. That was my favorite moment out of the entire series, and it proved to me that even the most trivial of side characters who barely contribute anything of value to a narrative can be some of the most memorable, and each member of School Rumble's large cast can accomplish that. Even though it beats around the bush for 50 plus episodes with no true development in what you're initially shown, School Rumble really is a series that wants you to make the most out of the situation you're put in, while not regretting your decisions in any way. And remember, the days may pass and the paths may separate, but the memories will never fade from the minds that cherish them. Unless you're Kurasma, but we're being optimistic here. If you are interested in checking out School Rumble, which I suggest you do, you can watch the series over on Funimation's website. Now, what are your thoughts on School Rumble? Comment below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. Subscribe for more anime related content and follow me on Twitter, my anime list, and Kitsu if you're interested. I'm Kat from Spartan Media Reviews, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching.
It's been a while since I told you I love you, and it's